Mike Cernovich, DangerPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. Obama stole my health insurance. True story. Shauna will attest to this. So I used to have great health insurance. I had what was known as a high deductible healthcare program. What that meant is high deductible means if you don't go to the doctor, you're fine. If something really bad happens, then you're covered. Well, I went overseas, lived with Shauna. Shauna and I went over, lived all over the world, right? Vietnam, Thailand, Paris. We lived, cool story, bro. That isn't the point of this. The point of this is that when we came back, remember, Shauna, we tried to get health insurance? Yeah. Am I lying, or were we unable to get health insurance?
We were not able to get health insurance.
Exactly. Here's what happened. We were gone out of the country for over a year. We come back and, just whatever, lived our life, and then realized...
And there's like a 2-month limit or cap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we come back, and then we decide, oh, okay, we're going to have a baby and everything. Maybe we ought to get health insurance. We try to get health insurance. The health insurance people go, no, you can't get health insurance. And I said, okay, I have money. You have health insurance. I have money. You have health insurance. I want to buy health insurance. Here's my money. And they go, no, read the regulations. Actually, Shauna told me I couldn't buy it. And I was like, Shauna, trust me, I'm a lawyer. You're just not reading this stuff right. Well, sure enough, under Obamacare, if you don't buy your insurance within the enrollment period, then you just can't buy it. You literally can't buy health insurance. This was astounding to me. So when Shauna started going to the doctors or whatever, what kind of doctor are they called?
OB-GYN.
Yeah, she started going to the doctors, and our doctor told us, oh yeah, we hear this all the time. There are people who can't get health insurance under Obamacare. They're just not covered. So I literally could not get health insurance all of last year. And now I have to pay a fine. My taxes are due April 15th.
Oh, and being
Yes.
pregnant isn't considered a special circumstance.
Yeah, special circumstance.
Having the baby.
Right.
So
if you're under Obamacare, if you didn't buy health insurance in the enrollment period and you get pregnant, you still can't get insurance.
But after you give birth,
you can. So all last year I didn't have health insurance because I could not buy it under Obamacare rules. And now April 15th I have to pay a massive tax because I was uninsured. So think about this. If this is all true, fact check it. All these fake news people watch me. Fact check it. I was unable to buy Obamacare because I didn't buy insurance during the open enrollment period. Because I was in another country and I had no idea about any of this nonsense. I didn't know that you could only have 2 months to buy health insurance. Otherwise, you can't even buy it for the rest of the year. So under the law, under Obamacare, I could not legally buy health insurance. And now under the law, I have to pay a tax, a penalty, because I was uncovered last year. Right? So not only did I have no health insurance last year, not only did I have no health insurance last year because I legally couldn't buy it, I have to pay a fine because I didn't have health insurance that I couldn't buy. That was what Obamacare did. And my story is one of many, many, many such examples. Thus, all this whole freak out about Ryancare, healthcare, all this crap, I don't have any idea about, but it's complete nonsense to suggest that Obamacare was anything other than a complete and total disaster. My story is one of many stories. The CBO report, I don't really know anything about. Yeah, Catch-22 is a classic Catch-22. You have to pay a fine, but because you didn't have health insurance. But you could, but you had money to buy health insurance, but you couldn't actually buy health insurance. That was Obamacare. That's the world. That was the world he created. What a complete and total mess. Ryancare is no better. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ryancare, I mean. Ryancare is no better. Trump needs to stay far away. Far away from Ryancare. I would not have my name anywhere near Paul Ryan, Cuck Ryan's healthcare plan. Far, far, far away. Read the screen, no fine. I'm blocking you. Because I'm not talking about Ryancare. I was talking about Obama wanting me to pay a fine, right? So I don't need to be corrected about things when you're wrong. I'm gonna become a feminist with all these mansplainers, right?
Like to be pregnant before
I'm gonna become a feminist because of all these mansplainers. They're telling me things about something that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm actually talking about, right? Mansplaining me nonsense. But anyway, Ryancare is going to be a bigger, colossal disaster than Obamacare is. I don't want my name anywhere near it. I do not endorse the GOP healthcare plan. I do not support it. I will not do anything to support it. I will do nothing to advance this complete debacle known as Ryancare. Let Obamacare fail. Let Obamacare fail, and then come in and pick up the pieces. That is what I would do. What would I do? As cynical as it is, as cruel as it may seem, this is the world that liberals want, the Democrats want. Let it fail. It's going to fail this year. How many insurers have already pulled out of the exchange? By the end of this year, you won't have any insurers even available in the health exchange or in Obamacare. Me personally, here's what I would do. I would work on building the wall, doing something about immigration, focusing on terrorism, fighting the opposition media. Let Obamacare fail. Then when Obamacare fails, you now have power to do whatever you want to do. Anybody telling anybody else that we need to focus on healthcare and Obamacare, this is a media psyop. The wall is a useless money pit. You are blocked. Being stupid. If you think the wall is a money pit, when you look at how much it costs to house criminals who are illegal immigrants, then you're just an idiot. You're not allowed to be on my periscopes. You're just not intelligent enough. You're not ready for the message of truth. So healthcare, we shouldn't be doing anything with healthcare right now. Complete and total mistake. Nothing to do with healthcare. The wall. That is why do you think why do you think Paul Ryan is coming out with Ryancare? Here's why. Here's why. Think about it tactically. Think about it tactically. What would be the best way to sabotage DJT? What would be the #1 way to sabotage DJT? Make him break his promise to build the wall. Well, how can you make him break the promise by building the wall? Well, you drag him to a boondoggle of this healthcare reform stuff. Drag him to this boondoggle of Ryancare, right? And that lame duck. It'll be over. You burn all your political capital on something your base doesn't even care. If Mike Cernovich, DangerandPlay.com, Guerrilla Mindset, Pizza Party Ben. Hey, Pizza Party Ben, do you support Ryancare? Does Madman Twitter support Ryancare? Does anybody here watching this support Ryancare? Right? Who has their finger on the pulse of the base more than I do? Right? None of us support Ryancare. Why then would you focus on this boondoggle, this quagmire, this Vietnam War of politics known as Ryancare, rather than build the wall, which we all do support? Strategic thinking. That Ryancare is a psyop being run on you right now. The whole fact that people are debating Ryancare means we're not focusing our energy on building the wall, reforming our immigration system, making it so that we can only have high IQ immigration. Only high IQ immigration is allowed in the new right. IQ minimum 115 or you can't get in. IQ testing of all incoming immigrants. 115 is a cutoff. But that's the whole point. We are now wasting all of our time and energy on a mess of healthcare. And then moreover, Ryancare, see, the whole thing about healthcare reform is you cannot reform healthcare. That is what nobody will tell you except for people like me who tell you the truth. There is no answer for healthcare reform. There is none. I'll give you a great example. My grandpa, love him dearly. My grandma, I love him dearly. All right? My grandma, when anybody who's had an old parent, a parent or a grandparent, you watch them decline in health, do you know how much money it costs every day my grandpa's having hip surgery, right? And I'm not saying he shouldn't have it. Come on, don't take me out of context here. I'm just saying that people are living way longer than we ever thought they would live. My grandpa is 85 and he's been drawing a pension from the state police department for something like 30, 40 years. I went and looked at my grandpa's pension and I was like, I looked at a public record and I was like, wow. How? So for almost 30 or 40 years, he's been drawing a mega pension because everybody's living longer than they thought that they would live. With healthcare, people are living longer, and as you live longer, things break down more. So there's no way we can reform healthcare unless we do what? One thing. If we eliminate poor immigration, then we can have a chance. Anybody ever go to a emergency room in California or talk to an emergency room at these border towns? You cannot, under law, turn away illegal immigrants who go into the emergency room. Under law, you can't. They don't pay the bills. They don't pay the fees. Healthcare costs, therefore, must be rise on everybody else to subsidize the healthcare costs of all the illegal immigrants. You can't do it. So there's no way to solve the healthcare crisis in America. Well, there are ways. Mike Cernovich will tell you how to do it. Here's how Mike Cernovich would solve the healthcare crisis in America. You won't hear this from anyone else. One, build the wall. You can have generous social welfare or you can have open borders. Pick one. You can't have both. You cannot have generous social welfare and open borders. You just can't. In reality, economics, okay? Two, this is a big one. I am smart enough to be a doctor. But if I wanted to become a doctor, I would have to go to 4 years of medical school. The idea of having doctors go to a doctor because you have a runny nose, more medical work should be done by physician's assistants and nurses with master's degrees. They ought to be able to prescribe certain kind of medication. If your baby has a runny nose, people run to a doctor. You don't need to go see a doctor because your baby has a runny nose, right? You only need to see a doctor when there's something real bad going on. So medical licensing is a disaster. It is overly regulated. You shouldn't have to have 4 years of medical school. If I can take a test that the doctors take, then I should be able to become a doctor. Why should I have to go sit through the slog of medical school if I can take the same test? Or maybe I only need a year to prepare, whereas because I'm smarter than most people, you know? People like me with the high IQs, we can become doctors, right? But I'm not going to go to medical school for 4 years, spend $300,000. Doesn't make it right. Crazy. I should be able... boards. I should be able to take a test and then become a doctor by passing the test. And more medical treatment should be covered by physician's assistants, nurses' aides, and everything. You don't need a doctor because you have a runny nose, okay? A little bit of education of the population too. Instead of having advertising for drugs all the time, we need public service announcements telling people, hey, if you have a runny nose, it ain't a big deal. Hey, if you have the flu and the doctor gives you a Z-Pack, that is actually nonsense because a flu is a virus and a Z-Pack is antibacterial. So taking a Z-Pack actually does nothing for your flu. So don't be an idiot and go to the doctor because you have the flu. You have the flu. Guess what? You're going to be sick. You're going to be miserable. Maybe take some Tylenol. Get some sleep. Just be miserable. There needs to be a public service announcement saying, hey, you got the flu. Stop crying. Don't go to the doctor. Just you're sick. Sorry. That happens in life. There's no magic pill to get rid of it. In life, sometimes you get sick. Just deal with it. Deal with the reality. Not a big freaking deal, right? Not a big deal. So we would do public service announcements telling people that they are over medicated. Definitely over medicated. But currently now it's like if you have a sneeze, oh my God, you know, Sean and I found the best pediatrician. Why? Because you know what he told us? He goes, hey, You don't need to bring your kid into me every week to just tell you that your kid is fine.
Look,
right?
T sticker.
Where? Oh, in front of us. You don't need to take your kid in every week just so the doctor validates you. Read a book. Read a freaking book on child health and prenatal care and, you know, what is normal for a child and how they develop. Right? I don't need to take Syra to some doctor to be like, oh yeah, she's developing nicely. Get out of here, right? Become more self-sufficient. There are all kinds of little things that we could do to make healthcare, to solve the crisis. But currently, nobody's visionary. Nobody's visionary, and they're not talking about the type of stuff that I told you. People would tell you that guy's a crazy guy, doesn't know anything, right? Just like they told me that Hillary would win the election, and I didn't know what I was talking about. We all saw how that worked. So a visionary, I would form a visionary panel, is what I would do. A visionary panel of people like me, people like Peter Thiel, and just Elon Musk. And I would say, okay, you are among the greatest minds in America today. What should be done to reform healthcare? Just brainstorm. No, right? And then just put us in a room, like a retreat, like a, you know, retreat for a little bit. And then we could just come up with all these ideas, and then whether that be political work or whatnot, you know, we would have to see. But right now, the greatest minds in America are kept out of the game deliberately because they want lobbyists in. It's all about the money, the lobbyists, giveaways to insurance companies. That is all Ryancare is. And it's a giveaway to the insurance companies. There's even a provision where it gives healthcare CEOs who are making millions of dollars a year free insurance, and they're not being taxed on it. Like, come on, think of the optics of that, right? Wow, I just hit some bad lighting here. I'm looking kind of... You want to put that sunroof forward? I'm looking washed out here. There you go. Whew. Bad lighting. So those are some many ways. Mike, you are out of your lane. You're blocked. Why? Because you're too stupid to be here. You can't recognize the visionary talk. You're out of your lane. What is your lane? What are your great ideas, hater? That's what people do. I always block those people. Why? What are your ideas? What's your grand vision? People always want to snip at visionaries. They always want to, when a visionary speaks, they want to just say why it won't work. Well, then you tell me what will work. Oh, you can't do that. Just snip. I had to block him. I only allow visionary thinkers around me. I said that, you know. I have too many Twitter followers. 220,000 Twitter followers. I have way too many Twitter followers. I need to have 100,000 dedicated people. I need 100,000 dedicated Twitter followers, not 220,000 people that include non-visionaries. That include people who say that won't work. That won't work is not a refutation. That is called not being a visionary. Create an idea that will work. I mean, look at me. Look at these glasses. How many people look like I look? Right? Look fucking cool like this, right? Most people can't even look cool. Most people can't even look cool. But they're trying to tell me about healthcare reform, right? Complete and total madness. Sean is trying to salt my game, but you know who's driving the car?
Because I'm the better driver.
You know who's driving me? You know who's driving me? That's all I got.
I just don't want you to talk about how high you are.
No, see? Why?
Because that's not, cockiness isn't cool.
Uh-huh. Cockiness is very cool, actually. So we just solved right now the majority of the healthcare problems in America, just like that. But you're not going to hear these kind of conversations anywhere else, because I'm not bought and paid for by the insurance company. I'm not bought and paid for by the insurance company. So because of that, you're not going to hear these kind of ideas. Ryancare is a disaster. Shauna is the hot one, buddy. No kidding. I love when people use that to try to denigrate or insult me. Shauna is attractive. Oh, wow, you really hurt my feelings. Think that one through, buddy. Think that one through. Think that one through for a minute, right? Think that one through. So we just solved the healthcare crisis in America, and...
There's the UFC gym.
Yeah.
Do you care for that or no?
Nah, I don't care about that. Cerno's IQ is pathetic. You wish. Blocked. You're not even smart enough to see how high my IQ is, right? This is the whole point. A lot of people are not even smart enough to know what true intelligence looks like. We call them basic bitches. All right, so we got to go. I got to get my suit dropped off. I got to get it starched. Got a big interview this Friday. I say no to 90% of media, but I got a big media interview this Friday. We'll see how they're going to treat Cernovich here. Are they going to be fair? It's going to be a hit job, probably a hit job, but I'm going to look so good. I'm going to look so good that it won't matter if they make me look like a monster. I went and I got a new shirt from Hugo Boss, got a new tie, got the pocket square, right? Growing in just the right amount of facial hair. So I went clean shaven yesterday so that I get 5 days worth of scruff, just the right amount. Got to get my hair texturized with shears, not clippers, shears. So then even if they try to make me look like a monster, it won't matter because the optics, the image won't match the negative message. That's the truth. That's the truth. All right, thanks for tuning in. Mike Cernovich, dangerandplay.com. Gorilla Mindset. Earlier, that hater you heard earlier was Shauna.
I wasn't being a hater, guys.
She's trying to hold my hand now, but I'm moving my hand away. Exactly. Syra said, "How dare you?
No,
How dare you hate? How dare you be a hater? Stealth hater, Syra. We got them everywhere."
That's not true.
What do you think? What do you think about the stealth haters? Everybody's trying to salt their game, right? Everywhere we look, stealth haters. Well, we're used to it, right? We got the gorilla mindset. Cyrus is high. Yeah, she's good. She's chilling. Trying to teach her motor skills here. Trying to teach her how to swap this little thing here, right? Come on, hit it. Go. Come on. Come on. Swipe it. Yeah, she'll get it down eventually.